having an older brother has always felt like a form of, just like protection to express myself, because if anyone sort of messed with me, you'd have to deal with my older brother. Hi, my name is Akinola Davies Jr. I'm the director and co-writer of My Father's Shadow.
Hi, my name is Sope Dirisu and I play Folarin in My Father's Shadow.
I would describe My Father's Shadow as familial supernatural drama. Plays on themes of like grief, fatherhood, brotherhood, nationhood, contemporary Nigerian political history. It's maybe like an offering or a nuanced insight to a type of masculinity that maybe doesn't get as much insight as it possibly could. I think this notion of absence is something that maybe at times, or at least in cinema or on TV, kind of gets skimmed over. And I'm not even just talking about a Black or African context. I just mean that type of masculinity in terms of like this idea of providing for a family often enough maybe doesn't get as much run as it probably could. And I think for us, it's just trying to kind of offer, for right or wrong, a little bit of nuance around that subject.
How do you top that? How do you beat that answer? No, I'm happy with that.
Well, my brother first sparked the idea for the film. He wrote a short script. I think he was doing some writing workshops. His tutor gave him a prompt. His prompt was to write a letter to your parents or your bereaved parents. And I think from there, the idea spawned and he sort of wrote what would have been like to spend a day with our father, who was late as when we were infants. And completely no context, I read the film. It was the first screenplay I'd read from a non-Hollywood or whatever type film. And it was just really interesting because it just felt so rich and so full of life so early on, and actually brought a huge emotional response to me when I read it. I cried for about half an hour and then I called my brother because I'd never quite imagined my father to be sort of imperfect and vulnerable and somewhat unsure of himself. I'd always just had him on this huge pedestal that everyone had sort of painted for us. It's an exercise in diplomacy because he's my older brother for sure. I think the blessing of having an older brother who's a musician, who's an artist, who's extremely well read, is that he has being a rapper, he has a real command of words. He has a real command of storytelling. And I think for music, it's quite clear to him that that's what he does. He writes poetry effectively. I think for screenwriting, he doesn't have that same level of confidence. But I'm like, you've been writing for almost a decade. This is something that you do, So I think it's been quite interesting for me, sort of kind of empowering him in a little way and giving him confidence in me thinking he's a really brilliant writer, which I think he is, and a brilliant storyteller. And I think, and vice versa, him being really encouraging and giving me permission to have the protection of an older brother and to be as brave and creative as possible. Because prior to us even doing sort of narrative stuff, we were shooting these really random documentaries in far-flung places in Nigeria, and I think having an older brother has always felt like a form of just protection to express myself, because if anyone sort of messed with me, you'd have to deal with my older brother. But I think in the writing process, it's a bit of give and take. I think I show him pictures and I imagine him pictures, and he imagines more in worlds. So I think coming together is quite complementary.
I had heard a lot about Akinola before I met him. Yeah. Your name is big in the circles, my guy. Yeah. I'd seen Lizard because it was on BBC. I hadn't seen Nigeria shot like that before. I had heard that Akinola was inviting me to work in Nigeria as a Nigerian who has only been there sporadically and for very short periods of time. The opportunity to engage with the country and my culture and heritage was an offer that I couldn't turn down. And then I read the script. To have those two factors beforehand, and then the quality of the story, the quality of the script. You talked of Wale and his words, I was transported. And then I was just so eager to then have the opportunity to transport others, to share this story and to share Lagos and to share culture, even if it was only 10 people who had watched it. I was very, very invested in creating this story and bringing it to life. So for this film to have gone on the journey that it has so far, let alone where it's going to go, is remarkable. It's beyond a dream come true.
Other than the fact that Sope is an exceptionally talented actor, I think meeting Sope was the real signature for me, because that's even before we did the script read. I was like, I would like to spend 6 weeks with this human. As soon as we got Sope in our mind, he was the only one who was going to make it. And I think some instances, you don't want to meet people you admire from a distance because maybe it doesn't really pan out. But I'm so grateful in this instance that's happened, because I hope it flourishes into a career long of working with each other, for sure.
For sure.
Having shot a lot of commercial stuff, sometimes everything is so heavily scripted that it's quite hard to show the sort of idiosyncrasies of a city in motion or whatever. Actually, another actor, India Salem, she had said something that she built a day with the cinematographer of just playing. And actually I borrowed that, and with Jermaine and with Rachel, I was we just need a day where we just go and shoot documentary stuff, because otherwise we're not going to be able to just capture the city as is. So we had one day in Ibadan where we went and shot a lot of textures and stuff, and then we had another day in Lagos post the shoot where we'd already shot everything, so we know what type of stuff we needed to get, and we'd been making an extensive list of stuff we were going to go and shoot. I think beyond that, that's kind of the documentary style that you probably see a little bit more in the sort of capturing Lagos. I think shooting on film really helped, because it meant we had to be very specific with what we shot. We didn't have excess of film just to keep rolling and rolling, so we had to be very effective with where we pointed the camera. Jermaine's cinematography is incredible for someone who's been working in the industry for so long as an operator. I found it quite intriguing that no one had really given him an opportunity to make his first feature. And now that obviously he's made the feature, he's premiered his first film in Cannes, he's premiered his second feature and won an award in Venice. And I think it's a testament to the talent that the UK industry has in terms of just being afforded more opportunity. But specifically to your question, I think we wanted to focus on the perspective of the kids and allowing us to stay curious, whether that's people's faces, whether that's the minutiae of the world, animals, insects, just the little, things that maybe you kind of take for granted. But I think with a childlike perspective, we can romanticize them a little bit more. There's even things that I hadn't thought about that probably Omar, our editor, who's a really unsung hero, saw within the footage and really created recurring motifs the vegetation and the plants and roughness of Lagos at moments as well, that he really wanted to lean into.
You can't have a father-son's relationship without the children, and they offer so much that, the way that they interacted with me over the course of the film changes because we were growing closer over the course of the shoot, but they really unlocked in me curiosity, that you're saying, that playfulness. They had unbounded amounts of energy, I've got loads of wonderful behind the scenes photos of Godwin, especially operating a camera, because he's so fascinated with how that works. And I think it was you that brought them the Polaroid cameras, so that they could continue to be curious, and almost we could see their perspective of the country, of the city, of the unit that we were shooting through these pictures that they had. They really unlocked that paternal side of me that I didn't even know was really there. They allowed me to practice play at being a father. I'm really grateful to them for that.
My first film is making waves as Cannes in UK now. I'm so happy. It was fun. It was actually my first film. Me seeing the big camera, I was so surprised. Yeah, it feels fun seeing my face on the big screen, and so fun. I changed the way I looked while shooting is not the way I still look now. So sometimes I'm people might not even recognize me. So it feels fun. It's somehow weird because I see myself on the big screens. Weird and also fun. Because we're playing while on set. I had the opportunity to play with each other and didn't feel like we were really acting. Didn't feel like work, just felt like fun. I love swimming, that's why I like pursuing. So me, my brother and Sope, we made a song. We used our lines to form the song. We formed the song with our lines. And it was really fun. We're doing a long line, so we're not trying to make it enter our head, so use it as a song. It was fun because they always teach us a lot while on set. They tell us what to do because it's my first time on a movie set. So they really taught me how to act on set and where to stand, where to go, and they really taught us a lot.
The experienced actor, so he acted a lot of movies. So taught me how to act,
And they were like a father to us. I hope they'll feel amazing because it's a great movie, and I want people to carry their families, especially your dad. You can carry your dad to watch the movie because the movie is about fatherhood, culture, maybe history and Lagos.
I want people to learn a lot about the movie, especially those my age that were not born in the 2000s.
In the 1999,
yeah. So I want them to learn about our culture, our history, our profession in the days, yeah.